Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody that's in the room already. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys have been killing it with getting those 20 likes in before the beginning of the stream, man. You guys are awesome. So shout out to each and every one of you. We're going to start this out. We're going to start this out with some acknowledgments for the wonderful people who are in the chat early. All right. So shout out to everybody that's an early bird. All right. We got Carla Lockhart in the building. We got Val in the building. We got my man Torian. Unfortunately, Torian is going to miss this hilarious stream. We got DSA. We got Volvo to Love. We got Jarrett. Shout out to my man Jarrett. We got Lemon Lucas in the building. We got Val. We got T-Rex and Penny. Shout out to T-Rex and Penny. Glad you guys were able to catch a stream. We got my man Emmanuel Carey. And we got my man AB Promotions. All right. So this stream, quote unquote, is for educational purposes only. Now, how many of you guys remember Akon's Rock? Also known as Akon City. If you guys remember that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't remember that, give me a thumbs down. Oh, you catching this stream, you won't be catching me and TD. Okay. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Akon City was a pity, you know what I'm saying? And it never happened. It just ended up being a rock on a plank in the middle of a jungle or a tundra or whatever you call that thing, a marsh, a swamp, who knows, right? It's supposed to be $1 billion cryptocurrency haven, a futuristic, quote unquote, Wakanda-like vision for Africa. You know what I'm saying? The paramount city to jumpstart all of the potential of the African economy, which is limitless, mind you, right? It's limitless. And we know that it's limitless because everybody has ran up and through there and built their economies off of it, right? Akon, for some reason, always tends to say some very odd and disrespectful stuff towards Black Americans, despite the fact that Black Americans have been nothing but welcoming to him. Here's my question. What do you all think is the most disrespectful thing that Akon ever said about Black Americans? I think it was very disrespectful that he said the Black American rap artists are high all the time. I think that's a false statement, and I don't think that it's true. I think that it was very ignorant. I think that Akon was very ignorant, and anybody that takes Akon's side on this is also very ignorant. That he said that being involved with your child's school functions is quote unquote white people stuff. Yeah, he said that. He also said that he had no issue with Nick Cannon having kids all over the damn place. Shout out to JW. What's good with it, JW? Akon has come up with a massive amount of ignorant nonsense to say. And he's not even appreciative. He's not even appreciative of being involved in hip hop and working with the likes of T-Pain and Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? He works with these people, makes music similar to these people, gets these people to feature on his albums, and then he shits on the culture, shits on us. But maybe he shits on us and maybe he shits on the culture because he has some quote unquote self-hate issues. I would probably do the same thing if I had self-hate issues. Everybody can't be all things. You know what I'm saying? Some people got the looks. Some people got the brains. Some people got the hairlines. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, Akon felt that his hairline was so messed up that it needed surgical alteration. Okay, shout out to my man Bronze the God. What's good with it? There's a video that was on YouTube, and I thought it was worth us doing a reaction to. Since hairlines are the hot topic, you know what I'm saying? The title of this video is What Happened to Akon's Hair? Hair transplant analysis. Now, I had no idea that Akon had a hair transplant analysis. Did you guys? If you guys knew that Akon had a hair transplant analysis, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, give me a thumbs down. Apparently, he did. Now, I want you guys to take a look right there, and I'm going to ask you guys, does that look natural or no? If that looks natural, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't look natural, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not smashed that like button, make sure that you smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not shared the video to your social media, please share the video to your social media. And if you're not subscribed to my backup channels, take a moment and subscribe to the backup channels. Akon worked with shout out to Hob. Akon worked with Tekashi 6ix9ine. I wasn't aware of that. Tekashi 6ix9ine could have used him a couple of days ago, huh? Man, so let me ask you guys a question. It doesn't look natural at all. Torian says it doesn't look natural at all. It looks a little bit suspect. Looks ironed on. Yeah, it look. You know how I remember back in the day the white people used to have the Jello bowl haircuts. If you guys remember the white people Jello bowl haircuts, give me a thumbs up. That looks like a black person equivalent to a Jello bowl haircut, and I'm trying to figure out why you would do that. Why you would do it? Why is it that people like Akon talk so reckless, man? Nobody bothering Akon. Do your music. Have your fun. And then when people respond to this kind of nonsense, we're xenophobic, nigga. Why is that? I'm not xenophobic. Your hairline is xenophobic because it's running away from your face. Okay? So before you complain about me or anybody else being xenophobic, question your own hairline, because it's actually your hairline that's acting like you moved into a suburban neighborhood and a bunch of white people are there. Your hairline is doing white flight from your face. So thank goodness there was an expert that was called in to explain this monstrosity, and we're going to see what he says.
Akon publicly talked about his hair transplant. I'll give you my thoughts on what he said. But first, let's take a look at the hairline before the procedure and compare it to how it looks now. In 2003, at the age of 30, we can see Akon has actually the scar on the forehead, and that will be useful for tracking the height of his hairline. And it looks like the hairline at this point is about 2 centimeters above that scar, and we'll track that over time.
So the hairline at this point is 2 centimeters above the scar. Shout out to Ricky. What's good with it, Ricky? So now we're going to track what ends up happening to it. And apparently, like, it pulls down like blinds, which is fascinating. Now, I want to get a consensus here. In this picture right here, I don't see anything wrong with how Akon looks. Natural, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't look, fake or phony. No need to switch anything around or change anything. Why do you feel the need to pull down the blinds on that hairline? AB says he has no hairline. Shout out to my man DJ Elmo. Shout out to Kareem. What's good with y'all? Why does he feel the need to do anything to it? Right here, to me, you look normal. There's nothing wrong here. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
The temples to me seem displaced, fairly posterior.
Not a doctor roasting. The doctor said that his temples seem a little bit displaced.
Point is about 2 centimeters above that scar, and we'll track that over time. The temples to me seem displaced, fairly posterior, but at this point I think it works with his hairline height. Also, the horizontal thirds of the face appear appropriate with the hairline position, and it's still along the vertical dimension of the forehead.
Okay, so like you see these lines across his head? Everything looks symmetrical. I don't see a problem with this right here. Shout out to Iron Will. Do y'all see a problem with Akon's facial symmetry and hairline and all of that? As far as I'm concerned, everything is fine right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to OG Patrice and shout out to hey Mr. Knickerbocker. Okay, and we got Carla and we got Val in here. We got some ladies in here. Let me ask you guys a question. Ladies, what do you guys think of Akon's face right here? Aside from the red lines, you know what I'm saying? Does it look proportional? You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you know, the hairline is a little bit up, but I mean, bro, you don't look bad. Yeah, this was before he got that scalp transplant. I wish he had got a brain implant to match. Too bad he didn't get the bundle package. He only got what, you know, he got what the revenue he generated from Akon City could afford him, which was just the hairline minus the brain. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Grimlock. What's good with it, bro? So let's continue.
So as the forehead is coming up, you can see the hairline, and then most of the curvature begins to the rest of the skull. In 2000,
shout out to Desmond. OG Patrice says that the forehead is just a little bit off. A little bit off. What do y'all think? If y'all agree with Patrice that the forehead is just a little bit off, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that it's a little bit off, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please take a moment, smash that like button, hit that bell icon, share the video out. We might actually, you know what? Actually, there's another roast video that I have to do. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say I feel guilty talking about this and doing this roast because you know what I'm saying. I'd rather actually be talking about some informative content, but this has to happen because when people like Akon talk crazy and do crazy stuff, every time they get up, you have to push them back down. I'm sorry, you have to push them back down. You know what I'm saying? You can't let somebody like Akon just repeatedly, anytime he gets in front of the microphone, say something that's completely disparaging and get away with it. That cannot be allowed. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Akon, but you got to be roasted all the damn time. And shout out to my man, Reef the Watcher. What's good with it, bro? Now, hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says that his head shape is a little weird, but I can't talk because I got a big head. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with the big head. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker, you stop that. Val said he got a big ass forehead. He got a go head, faux head. I gotta agree.
5 at the age of 32. There's great hair density at the temples, the frontal scalp, the mid-scalp, and the crown. He also appears to have great donor supply. In terms of the horizontal thirds, we did a measurement, and it looks like the upper part of the face is 7 centimeters, the middle part is about 6 centimeters, and the lower part is about 7.3 centimeters. The average male upper third of the face, as far as the forehead height, is about 6 to 7.5 centimeters, so he falls within that norm. In 2006, at the age of 33, you can see that Akon does have significant skull curvature, but overall the hairline, to me, looks well positioned. In 2008 through 2011.
See, according to the doctor here, and on YouTube, it says that this guy is actually indeed a doctor. Shout out to Carlton Way. They have this thing now where it says if you're a licensed professional or not, and his says that he's a certified professional. He's a licensed physician. So apparently this guy is indeed a doctor. I'll leave the description box. I'll leave the description to this video in the description box of this live stream so that you guys can check it out if you want to. But this doctor says the same thing as me. See, like y'all killing Akon in the comment section. Y'all killing Akon in the comment section. Not that he doesn't deserve it, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I don't see nothing wrong with him right now. Like he's straight, he's fine. So like here's the thing, right? When you're looking at somebody and they seem straight, they seem normal, they seem fine, you don't see an issue with it. The fact that you got to do something to alter yourself, that's when you know that you got a little bit of self-hate issues going on. Shout out to my man Ryan Glenn. What's good with it, bro?
I'm not seeing any changes. In 2012, at the age of 39, it appears to me that Akon is straightening his frontal most hairs.
Man, what's up with that, man? Akon trying to get the baby edges. Can y'all see that? Can y'all look real close into the camera and see that? Grimlock said he looked like a Cleon. He like Worf. I don't know why he decided to do this. Like these, it looks like he's got lashes on his forehead. Like, why would you straighten your edges? Like, and the thing is that Akon has some waves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got some waves, bro. Like, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? See, that's not the normal. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. What's good with it, bro? That's not the normal thing that most rappers do. Most R&B singers do. They don't do all of this craziness. So like while you're sitting up here being a rapper, while you're sitting up here being an R&B singer, while you're sitting up here all up in the culture, then you turn around and talk crazy. This right here is proof that Akon is not satisfied with his own image, with his own natural image. You got to project your self-hatred onto us. That's corny. Bro, you a whole ass cornball. Go ride on a Bitcoin and take yourself back to Akon City and go do something with that rock you got there. Go find you some vibranium and build up Akon City. You didn't need to build up your hairline. Your hairline was fine. You know what I'm saying? Akon actually paid it forward. Talking about his hairline. Shout out to Fantizzy. What up with it?
In 2012, at the age of 39, it appears to me
I'm mad that he
Akon
got his edges up here looking like some eyelashes, man. Like you got your edges looking like eyelashes, bruh. For what? OG Patrice says she saw this doctor's analysis on Lil Kim. I could only imagine. Shout out to my man Deformed Pretty Boy. What's good with it, bro?
straightening his frontal most hairs to gain some length and reduce the visible height of the hairline. And for several years, it looks like Akon continued to style his hair in this manner, all the way through 2018. In 2019, at the age of 46, I think this is the year when Akon had his hair transplant, likely the reason for his shorter hair. Since we know he went to Turkey and he has admitted to an FUE procedure, likelihood is very...
So he went to Turkey and he admitted to a FUE procedure. So as much crap as he talks about black people, and there's a lot of Nigerians in the medical field. Now, I know Akon is Senegalese. I know he's not Nigerian, but there are a lot of Nigerians in the medical field. There's a lot of Nigerian doctors and a lot of Nigerian surgeons. All this dude sitting here talking about what foundational black Americans don't do and how we don't do this, nigga, and how we don't do that, nigga. He didn't even find an African doctor anywhere else in the world to do his surgery. He went to Turkey for it. I'm not mad at him that he went to Turkey for it. If that was within your price range and that was where the best available doctor was and that's what you felt that you needed, go right ahead and go do it. But stop pointing at us, talking crazy about us as if we're supposed to be on this program doing all this stuff that you're not even doing. Know what I'm saying? Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker said it's the it's the black man version of the comb over. If y'all agree that this is the black man version of the comb over, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. And I agree with Deformed Pretty Boy. Why didn't he do it here? My first question is, why did he do it at all? As far as I'm concerned, I didn't see nothing wrong with your brother. Like, again, this is Akon roasting himself because, bro, I didn't see anything wrong with you. Now you done got a surgical implant. You got this chili bowl sewed onto your head, and now you got this plastic surgeon over here breaking down what happened. And he said that we're gonna trace it by this scar. And I agree. Why would you go to Turkey for a hairline transplant? I don't know. I wish I had the answers, Val. I wish I did.
Very high that he had a full head shave for that procedure. A helpful hair modality that pairs well with a hair transplant is low-level laser light therapy. We have an entire video on it. Make sure to check it out. We want to thank iRestore for sponsoring this video and for supporting our channel. Low-level laser light, which is in the red or near infrared light range, 600 to 950 nanometers, is a portion of the electromagnetic spectrum that has visible light. This range of light helps hair grow by stimulating the stem cells in the hair follicle bulge and consequently shifts the follicles towards the anagen growth phase. Here it is, the iRestore device. FDA.
All right, hold on. So we about to, you guys just got a little physics lesson there on the electromagnetic spectrum. I'm gonna try to move past this this sponsor thing. Unless y'all want this. Anybody want this thing right here? Anybody need this? Maybe we need to actually watch this. Hold on real quick. Hold on. We're gonna run it back. Maybe y'all need to watch this.
Therapy. We have an entire video on it. Make sure to check it out. We want to thank Iristore for sponsoring this video and for supporting our channel. Low-level laser light, which is in the red or near infrared light range, 600 to 950 nanometers, is a portion of the electromagnetic spectrum that has visible light. This range of light helps hair grow by stimulating the stem cells in the hair follicle bulge and consequently shifts the follicles towards the anagen growth phase. Here it is, the Iristore device. FDA cleared for both men and women. Grow thicker and fuller hair. 3 brief treatments weekly.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe in this thing. Shout out to Ash Kiro Moxie. What's good with it? I'm sorry, but I do not believe in this thing. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys believe in this nonsense? Yeah, it looks like a bicycle helmet with LED lights in it. Man, I don't believe in this mess. You put this construction helmet on and it'll make your hair stand up. Like, come on, man. Like plants. It'll respond to the low frequency light. Shout out to Black Bitcoin Key. What's good with it? Black Bitcoin Key says lots of people go to Turkey for hair transplants. I was not aware of that. You learn something new every day. I had no idea that there was a hair transplant market in Turkey.
Looks great. What's included? You get 1 Iristore Professional 282, power adapter, a controller, and the user manual. Let's take a look. I see it.
So now you guys remember how back in the day Tommy Sotomayor used to be so disrespectful and he would call like weaves and wigs hair hats. You guys remember that? If you guys remember that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't remember that, give me a thumbs down. This right here, this device right here, this is an actual hair hat. This is an actual hair hat. This is crazy.
Ta-da! Look at all those diodes and lasers. What's interesting about Iristore devices is that they utilize both lasers and LEDs in order to create uniform scalp coverage. I can't quite put it on my hair since I have no hair, but here it is. You got a battery pack, you got a controller. So we turn this on, okay, and then watch this. Hit play, and wow, hair's growing. This is great for people with androgenic alopecia, especially people who, are not in the extremes of the spectrum. So not like Norwood's, 1 or 7, but a lot of people in the middle can benefit, right, as a form of medical therapy for your thin hair. So this is one of the modalities that's available for thickening up the hair. Iristore offers 2 FDA-cleared devices, Iristore Essential and Iristore Professional. Here are some of their before and after results. Don't forget to check out Iristore now.
Hey, do y'all think that Akon used this? Deformed Pretty Boy says that he knows an Indian dude that used this. How was the results, Deformed Pretty Boy? Did it actually work for him or no? Val said the doctor got alopecia, and if it works, why hasn't he been using it? That's a good question. I wonder. I don't know how long ago this video was recorded, but we should check up on his progress and see if he's grown any hair since.
And take advantage of their Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. Check it out. Iristore. They've got the 2 different devices. And there's a link in the description below. Let us know if you have any questions. Please make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications. Thanks. In 2020, at the age of 47, these are already the results of his transplant, though we didn't hear about it until that podcast that happened more recently.
Help me out. So as you can see, I shaved my head in the same way you've shaved your head all these years. Right. What's up with the hair? What are we doing here? How can I get the Akon? Where do I got to go?
You got to grow it out just a little bit more.
Because I got this damn hairline. My dad's bald. So I don't go to the barber. I just go to my bathroom and I just shave my head twice a week. I haven't shaved in about a week and a half, but you obviously have hair.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, I went to Turkey. I went to Turkey and got a procedure.
Was it painful?
I like how straightforward he is.
He said I went to Turkey and I got a procedure. So there you go. It's not rumor. It's not speculation. Like it came right out of his mouth right there. He went to Turkey and he got a procedure. Now, as you guys can see right here, the front there, man, that hairline came way down. As a matter of fact, I think that's why the doctor was using that scar as a marker, because you can see before his hairline didn't touch that scar, but now the hairline is right on that scar. Look.
In the same way you've shaved your head all these years.
Right.
What's up with the hair? What are we doing here? How can I get the Akon? Where do I got to go?
You got to grow it out just a little bit more.
I got this.
Shout out to Jay Bird. What up with it, bro?
My dad's bald. So I don't go to the barber. I just go to my bathroom and I just shave my head twice a week. I haven't shaved in about a week and a half, but like you obviously have hair.
Right.
Yeah. So
Oh no, I went to Turkey. I went to Turkey and got a procedure.
Was it
So
painful?
don't forget.
I like how straightforward he is. It's good. You know, a lot of people try to hide the fact that they had surgery, and we talk about that a lot on this channel. But here, Akon's just going right into it. He says where he went.
Man, that doctor laughing. That doctor laughing his ass off. Val said, but Akon, why you didn't let him do your sides? I know, right? Because I'm telling you, it looked like somebody just put a sponge on top of his head. Here go the question. Where's the city, nigga? That's the real question. Where's the city, nigga? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why you sitting up here getting hair bowls sewn onto your damn head and it's still just a rock sitting there next to some tumbleweed? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where's the city, nigga?
For the procedure, and let's see what else he reveals.
In the beginning, my whole front was loose. It was real thin.
Was it painful?
So he's saying that the front was thin. Okay, as we talk about on this channel, for thin hair, oftentimes you need to stabilize it with medical therapy, and sometimes bring in a fresh supply, such as a transplant does with hair from the back of the head to the front of the head. And that seems like what he had. But you know, was it just for the thinning, or did he look to reposition his hairline? Because it looks like his hairline is sitting relatively low. So let's keep watching.
No. It's the painful part is the beginning when they got to numb you up. That numbing ain't no joke. What they stick a needle like this big? It's kind of nonsense.
Yeah, so the numbing needles are not this big. They're usually about this big. There's a process that goes into numbing. Everyone's afraid of it. There are ways to make it more comfortable. Some of the
Look
ways.
at this, man. Just using your head like a damn pin cushion. This is what Akon let these motherfuckers do. Hold on real quick. They turned him over on his back and poking him all in his neck. Look at this. They cut a square into the back of your head, drew on the back of the head with the big pin, and just poking all in the back of the head like you basting a damn turkey or something. Look at this. Look at this.
There's a process that goes into numbing. Everyone's afraid of it.
Oh.
There are ways to make it more comfortable. Some of the ways are to.
I bet you that hurt. Y'all think that hurt? If y'all think that hurt, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't think that hurt, give me a thumbs down. Right, Desmond. Where's the city, nigga? Real quick, y'all, if y'all haven't hit that like button, make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the bell icon twice.
To inject the lidocaine slowly. Other things are the concentration of the lidocaine that's being injected. So when we start our numbing, we use a more concentrated type of lidocaine, which is 2% lidocaine with epinephrine. The epinephrine helps with bleeding, and it also helps keep the lidocaine in one place, and that also allows it to be more effective.
Did they do the graft thing where they take a piece?
Graft.
So that's what they did.
Yeah, they took the graft.
Because you're
Okay, so there's some nomenclature here when they say taking the graft. I'm assuming Akon's talking about doing the FUE procedure. We have a video on FUE versus FUT. Make sure to check that out. These days, men are getting FUT less frequently, of course, than FUE. There are still some advantages to the FUT procedure, and we talk about that in that video I mentioned. So the grafts are going to be the same as far as once you're.
Let me ask you guys something. All the guys that are here in the chat, if you start to lose your hair or if you start to go bald, shout out to Greets. What's good with it, bro? If you lose your hair or if you start to go bald, would you all invest in this kind of procedure? If you would, give me a thumbs up. If you wouldn't, give me a thumbs down. I'm going to tell you something, man. When chunks of my hair start coming out, when I start becoming a safety hazard to a shower because clumps are just coming out every time I wash it, I'm just going to cut my hair bald. I'm just going bald. You know what I'm saying? Carlton said this man is literally white. Yeah, he's white. You know what I'm saying? He's white. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm cutting my hair off too. Shout out to Shatera. Yeah, just come on home, bro. Yeah, just come on home. You're doing too much. You're like this is like midlife crisis level denial. Let it go. Yeah, exactly, Kareem. Let it go. You're not about to be poking the back of my head and putting all kind of needles in the back of my head just for this. For what? Shout out to Bitcoin Key, a proud bald man. You know what I'm saying? And if you keep it maintained, ain't nobody gonna know that you bald anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's gonna know. The only time people will know is if you start to let it grow in a little bit and people start to see, you know, where the pattern of the balding starts. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody going to care about that. I wonder, do you think Akon got any more women with this or, you know, any more interviews or anybody told him that he looked better with this? What do you guys think? I don't. Me personally, I don't. See, because there gets to a point to where you start looking like a Lego person or a Fortnite character. You know what I'm saying? And if you ask me, he kind of looking a little bit Lego-ish. You look like a Fortnite character. Things are a little bit too real and too graphic because it's like virtual reality. Like, bro, just let it go, man. Let it go. You're getting older. You know what I'm saying? With age comes experience, and it's all good. Let it go. Telefo92 on Twitch says also there's black privilege in going bald and not looking like a damn skinhead. Actually, there's no black privilege in going bald and not looking like a skinhead. White people decided to become skinheads because for whatever reason, you all have this incestuous instinct that you just couldn't shake with human evolution called racism. And a whole bunch of them decided that it would be a good idea to shave their hair, probably because a lot of those skinheads were ashamed that they weren't blonde and blue-eyed, which is what Mr. Mustache Guy decided was an Aryan, despite the fact that that's not what an Aryan is. And because of them being shameful that they weren't absent of all melanin, they would just cut off all their hair so that they would all look like a bunch of copied clones. So because they chose to put that identity on themselves, that's not privilege, my dude. That's called accountability. Like, you know, here's a thought. You know, white people don't have to be racist. White people don't have to be skinheads. There's no privilege that comes with that. That's like if you send your child to a school in the suburbs and one of those white teachers can't stay off your little 16-year-old son's dick. And then you say, well, your son had black privilege for going to the school in the hood because he didn't end up getting molested by a teacher. No, the teachers need to just not molest kids. You see, that's how that works. That's how that works. Skinheads started as working class British. The Nazi skinheads copied their aesthetics. And let me ask you a question. Yeah, you're talking about that Sharp party and the difference between the red and blue laces or the red and black laces and the black leather boots and all this stuff. Listen, let me ask you something. Racism started in British. So the chances that those quote unquote working class British people were not racist is very low. As a matter of fact, it was working class British people that were racist as fuck that came to the United States, slaughtered most of the indigenous people here, and decided to institute chattel slavery. As well as because you're such degenerates, you decided to do things like say that Irish people, which is on the same island as you, were not human. Because despite the fact that Irish people weren't slaves, they were victims of racism by other white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. And also, who told Nazis to be racist? Who told them to shave their heads? That doesn't come with black privilege. You see, that what that's called is a lack of white accountability. And I know, you know what I'm saying? I know it hurts your little translucent feelings, you know what I'm saying? And you got to go running around and saying everything is woke. But maybe if one of you idiots had have woke up and said, you know what? There's something really wrong with our culture and why we can't get along with other people, then maybe those British would have actually checked those Nazis, and then maybe you'd be able to wear your hair bald head without anybody looking at you sideways. But you didn't. And because you didn't, now you get looked at as exactly what you should get looked at when you're running around with a bald head. Suspect. Because you people believe that your hair is better than everybody else's. So if your hair and your belief is better than everybody else's, why would you cut it all off of your head? Suspect.
Ready to place them into the recipient area, but the way that they're extracted can be different, and that's where that distinction between FUE and FUT comes in. But the way they're talking about it, it seems like Akon had the FUE procedure.
It looks good. It looks
It looks amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
like Tory Lane should have went to your guy.
I told him. I said, Tory should have came to my man.
Linez?
You may have heard of Tory Lanez.
Nah, we know it's Lanes. We know.
My man. Like, yo, bro, you gotta.
Oh, this doctor was one of the people that pronounced it Linez.
guy.
I told him. I said, Tori, you should have came to my man.
Linez?
You may have heard of Tory Lanez.
Nah, we know it's Lanes. We know.
My man. Like, yo, bro, you gotta, you know.
And Turkey's known for
Turkey,
that.
no Turkey.
Remember, it's not just about the skill of the surgeon or the clinic that you go to. It's the caliber of your hair. It's your hair loss pattern.
Yeah, this dude said black privilege of not looking like a skinhead. Well, hey, guess what? Here's another one. Shout out to Desmond for really, you know what I'm saying, activating my troll response mechanism. You know, maybe if skinheads were not a racist group and they allowed blacks, then maybe the whole skinhead thing, bald-headed people, would be an everybody thing. Yeah, I know racist whites are working class. I know. Have you ever heard of quote unquote the boss? Yeah, they're all working and they're white. You know what I'm saying? All of those labor unions, racist as fuck. They used to work with the mafia in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Not only did they used to work with the mafia in Chicago, anytime somebody was bitching about something because it was too woke, the Chicago Police Department would work with the mafia to take some black person that was innocent of a crime out to the middle of the woods somewhere and beat a fake confession out of them. Remember, the police are blue collar. Remember, blue collar is working class. That's one of the reasons why white people don't want critical race theory taught. Anytime they come in and try to just butt into a conversation and say, hey, guess what? We were the good guys. Man, do you know you just walked into the Legion of Doom, motherfucker? Fuck a good guy.
It's like whether you're on medical therapy or not. There's lots of different variables. So even if Tory went to Akon's person, he may not have had the same result.
Is known for two things. That's hair and teeth. They're really good on.
But you know, the way they're saying it, it makes it seem like they just go to this one place for the hair, one place for the teeth. In reality, there's like thousands and thousands of clinics, so you have to choose wisely.
People are getting beards now.
Yeah, I mean, beards the whole nine.
Floyd got the you know, the
because me, I can't grow
We have a video on Floyd's beard hair transplant.
hair on my face.
me either.
Like I can't.
I go facial
Hey,
hair.
did y'all know that Floyd Mayweather had a beard transplant? I had no idea. Now look at this. Let's ask another question. Let's ask another question. Why can't you people not bring race into anything? Let's talk about that. Can we talk about that real quick? I want to know why you can't not bring race into anything. Yeah, I didn't know Floyd Mayweather had a beard transplant either. Shout out to Unsungen One. You people from Twitch with no profile picture that say that you're not any kind of race, which means that you must be from another planet, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you not bring race into it? What's wrong with you? Can you just explain that to us, please? Can you help me understand what's wrong with you? Because I guarantee you that the list of what's right with you is a lot shorter than the list of what's wrong with you. So just to make this an even hour-long live stream, just give us a list. Tell us what's wrong with you. They always bring race into everything. Always. It's either race or it's woke. Shout out to Vega. What's good with you, Vega? Yeah, I didn't know that Floyd Mayweather had a beard transplant. How many people knew that Floyd Mayweather? Why would you have a beard transplant? Why would you do that? That shit is funny though, because beards do be looking like you know those people that can't grow beards? It do be looking like the top of Tory Lane's head though.
About doing the FUE procedure. We have a video on FUE versus FUT. Make sure to check that out. These days, men are getting FUT less frequently, of course, than FUE. There are still some advantages.
This video is like an expose on everybody who faked a hairline. Shatira says if you can't grow a full beard, just go for the goatee. Right. Well, according to them, anytime they want to be in a conversation and attempt to try to take some kind of position, they're all of a sudden not white. You know, well, I'm not white. You know what I'm saying? I'm not white, you know, but you are. Literally every single document that you've ever filled out in your entire life has the white box checked. Oh, my bad, DJ. I'm sorry. No offense, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is I got love for my brothers with the patchy beards. This is strictly about Akon. You know what I'm saying? But they did have this device though in the beginning of the in the beginning of the video. This device, if you can't for your situation, you'd have to put it on your chin and not put it on your head, but it might help. You know what I'm saying? His punk ass left.
Advantages to the FUT procedure, and we talk about that in that video I mentioned.
Shout out to everybody answering the Nightbot.
Going to be the same as far as once you're ready to place them into the recipient area, but the way that they're extracted can be different, and that's where that distinction between FUE and FUT comes in. But the way they're talking about it, it seems like Akon had the FUE procedure.
It looked good. It
It
looks
looks amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
like Tory Lanez should have went to your guy.
I told him. I said, Tory should have came to my man.
Linez?
You may have heard of Tory Lanez.
Nah, we know it's Lanes. We know.
My man. Like, yeah, bro, you gotta get up.
And Turkey's known for
Turkey,
that.
no turkey.
Uh-oh, we got an admission. We got an admission. He says, I'm white. Yes. Okay, that's fine. And look, can I ask you a question? Why is it that the new thing for white people to do is to run around and just repeat, it's okay to be white. It's okay to be white. Like, no shit. Like, do we have that established now? Racial relations are different around the globe. Out of your U.S. empire ass. Actually, no, racial relations are not different around the globe. White supremacy is the same around the globe. This motherfucker said, my U.S. empire ass. U.S. is not my empire. U.S. is your empire because you're white and you don't even live here. I've been paying taxes in this shithole ever since I was able to work, and you'd still come here and be able to just easily get a societal pass before I do. You come walk around in my city without a bulletproof vest. Torian said those PC people that do that are disappointing their ancestors. You know what, Torian? I actually disagree. I actually think that PC people that are halfway decent, that are not racist, are the ones that are disappointing their ancestors. You know what I'm saying? I think that the ones, how we see the world, the way that they are, those are the ones that are making their ancestors proud. But the rogue PC people that happen to be decent individuals, I think it's them that's disappointing their ancestors. Shout out to Solo. What's good with it, bro?
Remember, it's not just about the skill of the surgeon or the clinic that you go to. It's the caliber of your hair. It's your hair loss pattern. It's like whether you're on medical therapy or not. There's lots of different variables. So even if Tory wants
and check this out, man. Check this out, right? Why is it that white people from overseas, they always bark that U.S. empire shit? You're U.S. empire. You're U.S. empire. As if we benefit from the U.S. As if that's our empire. As if anybody's listening to us. You let these motherfuckers tell it. You let these motherfuckers tell it. They're how you thinking that we running shit. You know what I'm saying? Isn't the current existent empire? It is the current existent empire that oppresses and exterminates and harms people like me before it looks out into the rest of the world to harm people. So the U.S. being an empire, yes, the U.S. is an empire. Is it my empire? Is it beneficial to me? No. The only kind of elites there are white supremacist elites. I don't do that whole elites bullshit. When we talk about the elites, they're called white supremacist elites. Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Lana. I agree. Fantasy Magna comic visionary. There's some barbers that can do some amazing type special effects type hair shaping. You know what I'm saying? Super facts. A great example of reverse perception, Rob. They love pointing at others instead of admitting their own guilt. Absolutely. Absolutely. And they'll never admit it. That's why there can never be any kind of negotiation. And that's one of the reasons why I entertain you guys dealing with trolls, because the truth could be right in somebody's face and they'll still just sit there and deny it. They'll literally try and just repeat nonsensical talking points that have been disproven and debunked multiple times. And at some point, people have to realize that confrontation is imminent. Confrontation is imminent because you cannot negotiate with terrorists. Speaking of the evil empire, isn't that something that one of the presidents of the evil empire said? We don't negotiate with terrorists. That's one of the few things that somebody from the United States said that I actually agree with. We shouldn't negotiate with terrorists. We should handle terrorists. Facts. Unsunken one. Bob Johnson isn't an elite. He's just a black man with $1.6 billion. Yeah. I want to know who the elites are. I want you to name them. And usually when it comes to the elites, not only can you name the elites, but you can name about 5 or 6 members of their family that also have billions of dollars and also a massive amount of assets and resources. So who are these elites? Yeah, these people that come, we got to deal with the elites. The extra activist capitalists who mass capital. Name them. Who are they? What are their names? Give me names, my guy. Names. Shout out to Don P. Give me the names of these elites. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell icon, make sure you guys hit that bell icon twice. Yeah, I agree, Deformed Pretty Boy. Stop supporting the empire. Big facts. We're gonna eventually talk about that. I want to know who the extra activist capitalists are who mass capital. Who are those people? Who are they? Is Akon one of the elites?
To Akon's person, he may not have had the same result.
Is known for 2 things. That's hair and teeth. They're really good on.
But the way they're saying it, it makes it seem like they just go to this one place for the hair, one place for the teeth. In reality, there's like thousands and thousands of clinics.
Name them. See, this is just name them. You mean like Elon Musk, right? You mean like Elon Musk? Or you mean like Trump? Right? Extra activists who extract. Now, if a group of people extracted another group of people from a continent and took them somewhere else, would that make them extractionists? By your logic, if a group of people was extracted from one place, yeah, it does. Yeah. It does. It sure does. Now, tell me the names of these people who extracted everything from everywhere. I want to know what their names are. You can also name the company, but if you name a company, you got to name at least 3 boards of directors. You can't just say Sony. Name the board of directors, the majority shareholders, or the family that owns the business. BlackRock. Now, the only thing black about BlackRock is the name, right? So now my question is, when we talk about the elites, we got to go back to my original question. Why are they not called the white supremacist elites? Why are they not called that? That's the question. the elites, the Rockefellers, you know what I'm saying? The DuPonts. The Waltons. Why is it that people want to have just a fun powwow conspiracy theory talk and never talk about the white supremacist elites? Albert Pike, Albert Pike and those Freemasons. Oh, you mean the guys that created the KKK? It doesn't matter what you see racial supremacy as. That doesn't matter because you haven't been affected by it. The only thing that's ever happened with you as far as it's involved is it's indirectly benefited you. So since you've never been a victim of it, your definition of it and how it affects other people is null and void. And now let's just say that your point has some logic to it. Knowing that that took place, what should be done about it? Should the underclass that was created, do they owe any of the other races anything other than revenge? Because let's just get it twisted. The elites aren't the only ones complicit. You see, if I got a whole bunch of food stamps and I sell them to everybody else and I let somebody starve, guess what? Everybody that bought all those food stamps contributed to that one person starving. So now here's my question. In addition to the elites, what should be done about the elites and all the groups that benefited from what it is that the elites created? Let's get down to the meat of it. And I'm glad you agree. That's just being honest. It doesn't hurt that bad. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt that bad. So now what should be done? What would be, my question is, what would be the most extreme thing that if the underclass woke up and realized that they were a manufactured underclass and they wanted to deal with all the people who benefited from them being an underclass, what should that underclass do? That's my question. What should the underclass do? Unite the working class of every race. I disagree already. Beyond race, uplift it as a national class where it belongs. I don't like that idea. No disrespect, Telly. I don't like that idea. Because if we're uniting every race, then that completely negates the fact that there was an underclass that was created and mainly affected by that whole system. So it has to be the underclass that deals with getting the underclass to being an upper class. In many cases, the working class makes up more than one class. It's the working class has middle class, upper class, and lower class within it. I don't think there's salvation for anybody else. I think that the underclass should take its destiny into its own hands, and whatever happens to everybody else just happens to them. Because here's my question. Why would you unite collectively, right? I'm not saying you can't have friends and stuff like that individually, but to make a movement, why would you unite with the very people that benefited from body capitalism off of your body? Why would you do that? How could that work? How does that work? So, but I'm asking you the question, what would you suggest besides this? All right, because this right here, what is your end goal of this look like? Give me an explanation in the comment section of what your end goal of this looks like. What would this create? Because I'm going to ask you something. If all these other classes who haven't been suppressed unite with a class that has been suppressed, how does that change anything for the class that has been suppressed? Let's just say there's a yacht club, right? And the yacht club decides to open up for everybody. And I'm broke, but I got just enough money to join the yacht club. Just because I joined the yacht club, does that somehow improve my situation? Does that improve my situation, or am I still just as broke as I was before I got on the yacht? Yeah, anytime they talk about actually, Corey, if you look at it, they've already united the races. They've united everybody against us. You got AAPI people talking crazy. You got women talking crazy. They've divided the genders. We've got Latino people talking crazy. We've got immigrants talking crazy. But you're not answering my question, though. The question is, what does that do for my status? So how does unification help? See, you don't even have to go with system, right? You don't even have to go with that. All you have to do is just use weighted average when it comes to math. Weighted average, right? So let's say everybody's status is improved by a factor of 5, but inside the parentheses, you have the numbers 15, 20, and 25. Well, just because I improved everything by a factor of 5, 25 is still going to be highest when you multiply by 25. That's going to be 125. 20 is going to be 100. And 15 is going to be 60. Or 65. So still 15 is still at the bottom. So that doesn't help anything. It just gives the appearance of helping. The means of production respond to your needs and uplifts capabilities to improve others' lives. It's not our job to improve others' lives. We've already improved other people's lives. Remember, you said it in your earlier statement. We're at the bottom class to fuel the system, which means that as far as making everybody's lives as good as they can be, we've already done that. We've already worn that burden. We don't have any obligation to make anybody else's life better, especially at this point in human history. We've already created all of the riches that the entire world knows, and we have the least amount of them. And I think that it's time for us to reverse those dynamics for the rest of the foreseeable future. Oh, 15 times 15 is 75. Yeah, it is 75. My bad. Yep. You're right. I don't know why when I tried to do the mental math in my head, I put a 3 there instead of the damn 5. That's how you know I'm getting old. But is it true though, Unsunken One? We've already made everyone else's life better. We've made everyone else's life a heaven while we're in hell. And it's time for those dynamics to flip. Yeah. Yeah, I identified the bottom number as a 3. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't be transphobic and say that I'm not allowed to do that. Telly says, I mean the human species, the group, working class, and so on. What your solutions to the problem isn't dealing with. It's not dealing with repairing the bottom class. Everything that you're saying sounds good in theory, but it's not repairing the bottom class. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Dwayne Rhodes for becoming a member. If you guys haven't thrown some radiation emoji in the chat for Dwayne, please make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat for Dwayne. Also, anybody that's interested in becoming a member, is only 99 cents. You know what I'm saying? Telly says, okay, what's the aim in your mind? What's the new productive structure? I don't think you want to know. As a matter of fact, we'll just leave it like this. I could show you better than I can tell you. You know what I'm saying?
So you have to choose wisely.
People are getting beards now.
Yeah, I mean, beards, the whole nine.
Floyd got the, you know, the.
Because me, I can't grow
We have a video on Floyd's beard hair transplant.
hair on my face.
Me either.
Like, I
You
can't-
see how he snuck that in there?
Like a 12-year-old.
And that's something to consider.
You see how he snuck that in there real quick? We have a video on Floyd's beard transplant. We have a video on Floyd's beard transplant. Right, Corey. You can't handle the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just put it like this. In any relationship dynamic, it's only a matter of time before a person that's abused either dies, leaves the relationship, or ultimately flips the relationship and becomes a bully. That's usually what happens in most abusive relationship dynamics. So, like I said, you probably don't want me to talk about things that I'd like to see, but you could use your own imagination and just run each of those scenarios in your head. You know what I'm saying?
If you're thinking about a beard hair transplant, but you also have some scalp hair loss that you want to address with a hair transplant, remember it's the same donor supply essentially. So if you're taking a lot of those donor hairs and putting it up onto the scalp, then where's the hair going to come from for your beard, right? So sometimes you have to pick and choose. Sometimes you can sort of split, where you're putting the hairs, but it's just something that's good to consider.
Was it expensive?
No, that's the thing. It's so affordable. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. What, I was about to say.
For what I did, it would cost me 50 grand here in America. 7,500.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, of course our expenses are higher here in America, so things are going to be more expensive. Plenty to unpack here. One is that definitely people will travel for cheaper surgery.
Look at this. Anti-racism was a common effort too. By who? Anti-racism was an effort by white people to control the narrative of what racism is defined as, and then attempt to instruct other white people about how race should be dealt with. I want you to do this for me. No, it wasn't done mostly by black people. Name me a black person whose book is taught in the anti-racist coursework at Delta Airlines. Now, I'm going to help you out with that. You're not going to be able to name a black person, but I can name you a white person. Because when it comes to anti-racist text, when it comes to anti-racist coursework, when it comes to everything white people complain about with anti-racism, it's all text and books written by white people. Books like White Fragility. This dude said Du Bois. You talking about W.E.B. Du Bois, who with his girlfriend Margaret Sanger said to coat hanger black babies? Is that who you're talking about? Is that who you're talking about? And name the black people that have done that. Let me guess. Martin Luther King, everybody's favorite person to quote. No, you definitely can't say it's Martin Luther King now, because let's not get it twisted, man. Conservatives love Martin Luther King. So I know you ain't talking shit about him. Oh shit. Damn, Dwayne. Yeah, I remember you being a past member. That's why I couldn't remember. I wanted to make sure. I couldn't remember if it was this channel or the other channel, but I was pretty sure that you were a member. So now, who is the anti-racist people? Name them for me. Who are they? Because now I can name you a bunch of white people. Yeah, Jane Elliott is one of them. That's an anti-racist for you. She's white. Now, how is Fred Hampton an anti-racist? Explain that to me. So your definition of anti-racism is that white people shouldn't be allowed to just go into black neighborhoods and slaughter them. Because last time I checked, the Black Panthers never attempted to direct propaganda to other races of people. The Black Panthers instituted initiatives within black communities. Fred Hampton was for black empowerment. I don't know what that has to do with other races. Other races seem to have an issue with black empowerment, but that's what Fred Hampton was for. Why would we be fighting to tear down racial division when we didn't put racial division up? And racial division was causing attacks on us. Was that Fred Hampton that created a coalition of races, or was that the Soviet socialists? Fred Hampton. Wait a minute, hold on. You said Du Bois was upset that his white grandfather's family wouldn't accept him. He had a Yakub complex, huh? See, I didn't know that, Dwayne. And shout out to Val and Carla. And here's the question: why would you do that? Is that a badge of honor, inviting Southern whites to join? I mean, I'm confused. Who cares? Do you think that was a good thing that he did that, or do you think that that was a bad thing? Facts. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker. He's trying to bring up that Fred got everyone to stop fighting, which he didn't, because he was fighting for his life while they were killing him in his sleep. Well, what ended up happening was he seduced them into killing him. So how do you unite the races when the white people are killing you? Make it make sense. See, and that's that shit right there. That's that shit right there. Yeah. And the Southern workers, what Southern workers? You talking about slaves, or you talking about adosos? You talking about lazy inbred handout recipients south of the Mason-Dixon that had bad teeth and bad body odor? Who are you talking about? Who treasoned Fred Hampton? We don't need to look it up. The United States government treasoned Fred Hampton. Look up COINTELPRO. I don't understand why you're so allergic to not only UV light, but to the truth. All this Protestant racial shit you brought into it. I didn't bring any kind of racial anything into anything. You brought race into it way back in the beginning. Is your IQ that low that your short term is gone? initially you said that black people have black privilege because they're not looked at as skinheads when they cut their hair. And I said that's because black people don't have an inherent racist degenerate culture. Inherent degenerate recessive racism is the reason why people that cut their hair who are white are looked at suspect as if they're skinheads, because of decades of reputation that you've built proudly for yourself, that you should always be looked at as, until centuries of behavior change. You don't get a pass. Why would you get a pass being disgusting people? The wrong race of people is racially profiled. Fuck out of here. The wrong race of people is racially profiled. Next time we decide to genocide everybody, come up with Jim Crow and apartheid laws, split up continents unjustly, and create race-based caste systems, then it would make sense for us to be racially profiled. But that's not our bag. We don't do that. We don't do racism, and we do wash up. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that we do and don't do. He says, I'm fine. I'm Northern Spanish. What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that are you a gang member? Are you a norteño? are you a norteño? Because we can get on the anti-black racism that the northern Mexicans in California are committing against black people out there if you want to. We can do that if you want to. Oh, Spanish from Spain. So shout out to the original white supremacists, the Spanish. You guys came up with the black tax, Asiento de Negros, and you kicked out the Moors. You all are the OG white supremacists, not to mention the OGP words, the Spanish Catholic Church. Kicked out the Moors, and you kicked out the Jays. Why do you think that Christopher Columbus was sailing the ocean blue in 1492? And who did the Moors kick out? Let me guess. They kicked people out of the Spanish Caucasus Mountains. Who did they kick out? Who did they kick out? Because white people have an interesting account of Moors. When it comes to white people's account of the Moors, any atrocities that went down in Europe with the Moors were black. But when it comes to any of the scientific accomplishments and anything like that, then the Moors were European. Which one were they? Who were the Moors? Let's get that established. Who were they? Who were they? Who were they? Are you talking about the Caucasian, Ottoman, Turks, Persians? Is that what you're talking about? Other groups of Caucasians? Moors were Arabs. I don't know if you're aware, but Arabs are considered Caucasian. So by your logic, if you're going to say that the Moors are Arabs, they're nothing more than another ethnicity of Caucasians. So they're just like you. Yeah, and that's just like Americans, right? Americans are mainly white, but some of them are black, I guess. Yeah, it's just like, right. Yeah, it's just like America. Americans are white, but some of them are black, I guess. Shout out to KO Kid Fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess. You know what I mean? Well, let's not guess. Let's actually get the facts. Spain had black generals in their empire. Why wouldn't they? Why would they not? The United States has black people on their Olympic team. What are you saying? people know where to get the best people from. If you want to win, or if you want something to be sustainable, you know where to get the people from. No one goes to Spain to get anybody to win a championship for them. Let's just keep it a buck. That's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why you see things how they are. You definitely don't want people with power waking up, because that's a scary thought, especially when they have a collective memory recall and remember all of the centuries of things that every other group of people did. Man, could you imagine? That would be like one of these days, like that would be like an episode of X-Men where like all of the mutants woke up and realized one day that Magneto was correct, and then they decided to take care of humanity. That's what that would look like for y'all. Like, just imagine that. Imagine if in the Marvel universe, all the universe just, or all the mutants just one of these days just said, you know what? We're done listening to Professor Xavier. We're going to start seeing what Apocalypse and Magneto are talking about. Just imagine how that would feel. Yes, but you won't see it from the outside. You don't think it has backfired for the Empire? The first reason why anything would backfire for this empire here is because of everything that this empire has done to us. Because I know that there's a big world out there, and there's a large globe out there, and there's a ton of people in the world. The only problem is that the United States did what it did to us first, and that's what matters. Shatira said they go to Spain to find curlers. Yeah, you know what? That's what they say, but Stan Lee was a J, and I don't trust any of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust it, because like my thing is, like, if Stan Lee wanted to make that like that, they had black characters in Marvel Comics already. So why didn't he just use black characters? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Stan Lee was a J, so you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, he came up with some cool concepts and the comic book was cool and all that, but at the end of the day, these are people that have a cultural element of attempting to confuse other people and play with other people's histories because they have longer accounts of their own histories. Look at, like, you know, all these J people that make movies like Amistad and Rosewood and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? The Woman King and shit like that. Shout out to my man THPP Network. Yo, if y'all not subscribed to THPP Network, man, make sure y'all subscribe to THPP Network. We got to collab soon. We definitely got to collab. Matter of fact, bro, me and Grind and Motivate are doing a live stream tomorrow. You might have to mess around and slide through and take the link for a little bit. THPP Network got a curfew though. THPP Network don't be trying to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning like Blacklight be up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? THPP be like, motherfucker, you crazy. I gotta go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So let's finish this off real quick.
Now, whether or not that's the best approach, you know, that's up to the individual.
You do
No,
work
because
hard.
think about it, even the teeth procedures over there. Here, the same job that people are paying 40, 50 grand for, they charge you $500, $7,500.
I go to Tijuana and go to the dentist because I work
Right.
for myself, so I don't have insurance. So I just go to TJ.
Yeah, there's always going to be a place that charges less. You just have to figure out if that's the single most important priority for you and how you decide on it. Hair transplant.
We gotta listen, THPP. We gotta do a stream. We gotta do one stream where we talking about trending topics. And then the next stream, we got to do a part 2 of navigating the tech workplace. We gotta do a part 2 of that. You know what I'm saying? If you down, let me know. My Instagram is still hacked, bro. So hit me up on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe there's something else that's more important. Now, in 2022, when this news came out about Akon's hair transplant and the fact that he admitted it on a podcast, because we could have been suspicious of it already based on the hairline.
All right, so right here, this right here, this looks fake. It looks like somebody laid some AstroTurf on top of his head. I'm sorry. It does. Like, it looked like somebody just took a spray can and shook it up and just sprayed that hair right on top of his head. I want to ask y'all, does this hairline right here, after y'all seen Akon at first, does this look real? Corey, stop. I'm trying to finish my sentence, bro. Stop making me laugh like that. It's supposed to be a serious live stream. Oh yeah, no doubt, Fancies. You already know. You welcome, bro. You already know. You know what I'm saying? My IG is hacked though, bro. But on IG, you can message Facebook Messenger. So just message me from your IG to Facebook Messenger, or hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter is straight. Hit me up on Twitter. This shit look like AstroTurf. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he used a T-square. He on some Freemason hairline type shit. He used one of them compasses. That should say G on the back. He need to stop, man. This look like somebody just put a damn tarp over his head and smoothed it out with an iron and pulled it back and just watered it for a couple days. Like, come on, bruh. This don't even look real, fam. It looked more real like when it had the natural arch to it. Like, bruh, your hairline is parallel to the floor, and that doesn't look natural. It doesn't look natural, bruh. Yeah, no doubt, Corey. Absolutely, man. Yeah, we got to get that planned, and we got to get that together. I'm definitely down to do that, because like, people need to do more things like that. Like, people need to network. There needs to in every economic sector, there needs to be a political presence. If you ask me, that is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. In every economic sector, there needs to be a political presence. He got a peanut head on top of that. He looked like old boy from Training Day about to walk up to him and ask him, "You ever had your shit pushed back?" I remember when I got my shit pushed back. It was when I was in Turkey, esse. I'm telling you, Jared, it like spray turf. He need to peel that turf off of his head and go put it on that damn rock that he called Akon City and start the lawn. You know what I'm saying? Water that bad boy.
Change, but him really talking about it on air was a big deal. You know, most celebrities won't do that. But then, of course, he got hit with all these memes, like calling him Lego Man and all these other things that some were funny, some were just plain out rude. But he took it like a sport.
See, they stealing my swag. They swagger jacking. They call his ass Lego Man. I told you that motherfucker look like a Lego. Look.
Akon's hair transplant and the fact that he admitted it on a podcast, because we could have been suspicious of it already based on the hairline height change, but him really talking about it on air was a big deal. You know, most celebrities won't do that. But then, of course, he got hit with all these memes, like calling him Lego Man.
Oh my God. No. Bruh, I know, right? Who told him that this looked good? Who told him that this looked good? And see, who is that said that? Yeah, Deneen, I agree. When the stream first started, I said, "Joe, Akon, you look straight the way that you are. Don't do this. Don't do it." I'm doing it, nigga. Okay. I'm doing it, nigga. No, don't do it, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
And all these other things that some were funny, some were just plain out rude, but he took it like a sport and said, like, keep it coming. And he found it hilarious. So that was a great way to take it. And when you're looking at his hairline now, the eye perceives unnaturalness. There's something about it that just jumps out. Like,
see, even the doctor, man, the doctor said that the eye perceives something unnatural about it. And the white dude trying the white dude trying to be professional and shit. Oh shit. He can't even look. The white dude can't even look in the camera and shit. Akon said, yo, this is Akon. Yo, this Akon hairline challenge is the funniest I've ever seen. And he spelled scene wrong, but it's all good though. You guys got me rolling. Send more, please. Oh Lord, Akon, come on, bro. Oh man, that shit look crazy, bro. It look like he got a hat. All right, Jared, take it easy, bro. It like he got a hat. He ain't had to do this. I'm trying to figure out when he got this hairline transplant. Nigga, why did you do this? They need to hey, they need to get that they need to get that they need to get the Ugandan interviewer. Why did you do this? What is wrong with you, nigga? Your hair look fine. And then you go and do this. What is wrong with you, young man? Oh man, we might have to. They gonna strike my video if I play that shit though. I was about to say we might have to end this with the "Why Are You Gay" interview. See, Shatero, we got it's more people in here now. How many of y'all seen? How many of y'all seen the "Why Are You Gay" interview? If y'all seen the "Why Are You Gay" interview, give me a thumbs up. If y'all never seen it, give me a thumbs down. And they turned around and said nah to the U.S. LGBTQ mandates. They said Trickbag Shorty said, I wonder if Jay-Z hair is real. What do y'all think? Is Jay-Z hair real or not? Yeah, he definitely got a tarmac on there. Iron Will, you ain't never seen it before? Shatera want to see it. She wanted to see it so bad. she wanted to see it so bad. She accidentally pushed the laughing emojis instead of pushing the thumbs up. Hold on real quick. I'm about to see if I can find I'm about to see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, here you go right here. Hold on real quick. Man, this is some funny shit. Good Lord have mercy. This is some funny shit. Hold on real quick. Let me see. Hold on. Real quick. Smash that like button while y'all chilling. Oh, yeah. This is good enough right here, I think. I think this might be good enough. Man, this video was so crazy. Literally every copy of this, and who you know is people still reacting to this video? Like I'm sitting here looking at this. I'm sitting here looking at this video. It's still people reacting to this. Like somebody reacted to the "Why Are You Gay" interview 2 months ago. You ain't never seen it, Deneen? Oh, y'all about to be dying laughing. Hold on, we about to finish this up real quick. Then we about to watch that.
Like, keep it coming. And he found it hilarious. So that was a great way to take it. And when you're looking at his hairline now, the eye perceives unnaturalness. There's something about it that just jumps out. Like,
Shatera said, I'm about to start breathing, man. Y'all about to be dying laughing, man. Y'all think Akon's hairline is funny. Y'all really about to die laughing when y'all see this shit.
So that's what we wanted to talk about here. Like, why is that? And I think he has good density, right, from his hair transplant. He probably had about 2,000 to 3,000 grafts for about a 2 centimeter lowering, but the hairline just looks too low. It's really out of proportion to the horizontal thirds, and it doesn't seem to fit with the lateral based temples that have receded with age. And even at a younger age, as we saw, he had fairly posteriorly based temples. So the only way to make this hairline work at this height would have been to bring the temples way in, which they didn't do. So you can tell the degree of lowering based on the hairline position relative to that scar that he has. Remember that we talked about in the beginning. And you can see that now that hairline is coming up right up to the upper edge of that scar, whereas before there was more clearance. We did actual horizontal third measurements. We remeasured Akon at this stage, and it looks like that upper third went down to 5 centimeters. So he did get about 2 centimeters of lowering of that hairline. Do you think Akon's hairline looks natural?
All right, so let's get it. Do y'all think that Akon's hairline looks natural? If y'all think that his hairline, if y'all think that his hairline looks natural, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't think that his hairline looks natural, give me a thumbs down. What do y'all think? Is this natural? If this is a natural looking hairline, let your boy know. Let me know. If it's not a natural looking hairline, also let me know. It doesn't look natural at this point. Shout out to my man DSB. What's good? Yeah, nah. Yeah, I'm with Mike. I'm with Mike. Nope. Trickbag say 30%. I could rock with that. Fanteezy say hell no. Nah. That's where I'm at. Hell no. Nah. THPP. Shout out to my man THPP. Said hell no. Nah. Hell no. Oh, you know what? I gotta ask you something too, THPP. Yeah, dude, you need to just hit me up, bro. I gotta ask you a tech question.
Comment below. Let us know what you think. And thanks to iRestore for sponsoring this video.
All right, so iRestore is the hair hat. All right, that's that helmet that you can actually wear that supposedly will help you grow your hair back. Now, I don't think that Akon used that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he used that. He got a procedure. I can't remember what what did they call it? A FAE procedure in Turkey done. All right, so we about to watch this interview right here. How many people have seen this interview? This is Shatera's favorite person. All right, I want you guys to take a good look on this screen right here and look at this individual because he's about to lay down some hardcore truths. He's about to tell everybody a lot of stuff that they don't want to hear. All right, and now he didn't go get no damn hairline transplant. He just rocking with it how it is. His hairline way back in the middle of his head. And do you think that he cares? Hell nah. He about to put it down. Look how far back his motherfucking hairline is. That shit is way in the middle of his head. He the only person in the world that got a hairline center mass. But you know what? He rocking it though. And see, that right there, that's where Akon messed up at. That's where Akon messed up at. Now, I want to before we play this, I'm about to see. Let me see. Hold on real quick. I'm about to see if I can find the I'm about to see if I can find the longest version of this that I can find. Wait a minute. How long is this one here? Okay, yeah. Actually, you know what? I think this one might be a better version. Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? We're just watching both. We're just watching both because I'm sure they're both funny as hell. Now, I want to know how many people seen this. If y'all seen this interview right here, because this, believe it or not, this right here. This right here is actually relevant to today. It's actually relevant to today because y'all know that Uganda struck down those LGBTQ rules, right? You guys knew about that, right? And people are outraged. People are extremely outraged. We'll actually take a look at that. I didn't plan on looking at it. I should have made this auditing Africa video since we all up in the motherland today. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. So this is one of the funniest interviews that I've ever seen in my life.
Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming.
Pepe.
Good morning. Why are you gay?
That's the best right there. Let's get right to it. Let's see. That's how you know they do news in the motherland the way that they supposed to. Shout out to the African news agencies. They not wasting no time. We about to get right to the point. Why are you gay? Fuck all that dumb shit, nigga. Why are you gay? I don't give a fuck what your name is. I don't care about none of that. I just want to know why you're gay.
Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, and
Yes,
you're a
I am.
gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you?
I am Pepe Julian Onzima.
He's
Nigga. Nigga, what are you, nigga? I don't even know how to describe you. This shit is great. This is classic. This is like the golden era of YouTube, man. Like this is the golden era of YouTube.
claim is he's biologically fated to be a woman.
Kakadichi, what makes him?
I'm glad Pepe is back.
I'm glad she has got.
Can you
courage.
shake hands before we proceed?
Of course. How are you, Pepe? Nsaba mukama amanyi goga yingira omwana wa fono.
Pastor, no.
No, kamusabire ko rwatayagala.
No. Pastor.
Hey, the pastor is a G though. Oh, bro, this video is hilarious. This is one of the funniest videos ever made, ever in history. You know what I'm saying? Like in human history, this is some of the funniest shit on a video.
Let's maintain civility on the show. Let's maintain civility. Let's maintain civility. Pastor Semper argues that these are the instruments you use.
These are vegetables.
Yes.
This nigga said, hold on. You know what? I just realized. Let me do this so they don't be on that bullshit. Hold on real quick. All right. He said,
I eat this
Yes.
on my plate.
You eat them on a plate.
Yes.
You don't use them when you're having carnal knowledge.
Absolutely no. And Semper should stop misinforming the public.
Kachona rimba.
You are paid heavily to promote homosexuality in Uganda. What's your reaction?
It is not true. He claims I have a lot of money, I'm wearing fancy clothes and all that stuff. I do not even earn the amount of money he thinks. I do not even earn.
I'll put the link for the video in the chat. Like I said, people still reacting to this video. When I searched for it, it was some reactions that was just made 2 months ago, and they got like good amount of views. They got like 93,000 views. The hell?
$100 a month or even annually. I do not make the money that he thinks that we make.
Okay, a carrot with a banana. And I want this young woman to explain to you.
Let's give him a chance.
What does she use for sex? What do they use for sex? What do you use? What do you use for sex? As a man,
This salt in my food.
you see,
Same.
they don't even want to talk about it.
This nigga is wilding. Why is he waving? Why is he waving the carrot? This dude, you know how they be saying motherfuckers be finger wagging? He's carrot and banana wagging right in her face.
That he thinks that we make.
Okay, a carrot with a banana. And I want this young woman to explain to you.
Let's give him a chance.
What does she use for sex? What do they use for sex? What do you use? What do you use for sex? As a man,
this is old as
Salt in my
hell.
food.
you see,
Same
they
part.
don't even want to talk about
Okay,
it.
let's hear from him. Let's hear from him. Pepe.
Chimubuze.
Pepe, I
Why
need your
don't you respect
No,
yourself?
how
Pastor,
do you?
can you become for now?
No.
Let him respond.
Okay, I'll
Let
put
him
this one
respond
here.
to you.
I'll put this
Okay.
one here to see if she will answer. When you take a man, this is a man's genital, and you insert them into the intestine. Okay, they put their genitals into the excretory system. This excretory system is not designed to receive. It is only for exit.
It is only for exit. And then 10 months after this, monkeypox epidemic.
Kurusanya. Nechiriulika, nechiriko musai, nechidoka chitambuzo obulwadde. That is for men. For women, what they do is they begin their sexual acts because she does not have the equipment. They begin to use their lips. So the mouth is used to lick the other person. That's number one. It created orogonorrhea.
He said, because they do not have the equipment, they start to use their lips. Because they do not have the equipment, they start to use their lips.
Because she does not have the equipment. They begin lips. So the mouth is used to lick the other person. That's number one. It created orogonorrhea. Many lesbians have orogonorrheas, orosyphilis. Number two, because they don't have the equipment, they begin to use gadgets like bananas. They use carrots. They use bananas. They use cucumbers and other metallized ones, and they put them inside themselves. We are on the same page.
Why don't you fight for heteros as well?
What do you mean?
Heterosexuals.
What do you mean? Fight for heterosexuals?
What
do you mean fighting for
for their rights? Yeah, for their rights.
They are so. I am a human rights defender.
What
I'm
is
not
that?
limited.
Sodomite
I am not
defender.
limited.
You
I
are
am not
activist
limited.
for LGBTI.
I am an
Lesbians,
activist.
gays,
Bisexual,
transgender, and intersexuals.
Let me tell you something.
Where's the H?
Got her. Where's the itch?
Human rights. I told you earlier. I am a human rights activist. For this group, there are different people who work on different things. Like he does something different. You know, I do something different.
The final one. Don't you think you need to interface so that?
No, I have to pray for this young woman as I read the scripture for her. My daughter, I want to read for you a scripture.
No. I should take charge of this.
No, I want to
No.
read for her.
He's not ready. He's not ready. No. I'm afraid, Pastor. No. I'm afraid you're not ready to do this because my guest is not comfortable. No. Well, on that note, we thank you very much. That's all we have for you. Good morning. All right. On that note, we wind up and that ends the show. Good morning, please.
Man, my dude was under pressure. He didn't know what was going on. That is hilarious. So they got another one right here. This one got some special effects. If y'all haven't smashed that like button, make sure y'all smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please make sure that you guys hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. This one right here got some special effects to it. Hold on, we about to look at this real quick, and then we're gonna check out this article, and then we're gonna get up out of here. I was actually thinking about doing another stream because, like, man, it's a lot of it's a lot of nonsense going on, man. Like, I don't know, like, and a lot of times people be missing it. It's a lot of nonsense going on, like, and I can't stand when this kind of nonsense be going on because it takes away from like the content that I actually want to do. But I gotta show y'all this one video. I might go live a little bit later. We will see. And shout out to Carla for answering Streamlabs.
Welcome back. This is the topical discussion on the Morning Breeze on NBS Television. My name is Simon Kagwanjala. We bring in the studio this morning.
A gay rights activist. Hell no, Trump ain't get arrested yet. They ain't arrest Putin yet neither. They're not gonna arrest. If it's two people that's not gonna get arrested in the world, it's Trump and Putin. Neither one of them going anywhere.
One of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr. Pepe Julian Onzima? Thank you for coming in. Good morning. Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. Lesbian? Homosexual? You are a transgender.
I am Pepe Julian Onzima. I'm a human rights defender.
You're a gay rights activist. Why should someone be gay?
When you're growing up, you're within a society that has.
So as we stand today, are you dating any female?
Yes, I am.
You have a girlfriend?
Yes, I do.
You perform the natural obligations?
I'm not sexually active right now.
Doesn't that make you gay?
I am male and attracted to a female.
So who is gay?
I.
So as a human rights activist, what do you think of gays? Are they normal? Is it normal to be gay?
Absolutely. I mean, most people. We had a chat.
Why do you recruit young boys and girls into this gay activism?
Shout out to N Major. What's good with it?
Well, we have Pastor Sempa online, an anti-gay activist, to tell us the side of the story. Hello, Pastor.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good to have you online. How are you today?
I am doing well. First, I'm really extremely distressed. We have these issues, and if I can get a chance to put on Zima, I will.
Look, watch this. This is the original pull-up right here. I just want y'all to know. Don't get mad at me. Do not get mad at me. This is the original pull-up right here. Watch this. You see how the phone just went out, right? Watch this.
Oh, sorry, we lost you along the way. Legally, is there any legal justification for homosexuality?
I told you I'm a human rights.
This motherfucker had that Ugandan prepaid cell phone service, and that shit went out. And he said, "I'm gonna just pull up," and he pulled up.
And he storms in. Thanks for your time. I cannot go on with this debate.
Before you go, do you recognize these things?
Pepe, I'm sorry. Can you give me a minute?
Pepe,
Man, why he do it like the cops though? Why he do it like a cop? Yes, you need to tell me if you recognize these things right here. Do you recognize this banana? Do you recognize this carrot?
I'm sorry. Can you give me a minute?
Pepe, do you recognize some of these things here? These are some of the things they use.
Pastor, aren't you being too harsh?
No.
Why for once? Can't you relax?
He thinks she's a man, but she does not have the equipment to be a man. So what do? To be able to put it inside you, you rip your urinary tract areas. When they put it inside there behind, but this
is a disorder, right? If it's a disorder,
yes.
Do you feel you're handling it the right way?
Yes, it makes him.
I'm glad Pepe is back.
I'm glad she has got.
Can you shake hands before we proceed?
Of course. How are you, Pepe? Pastor, no.
Pastor Semper argues that these are the instruments you use.
These are vegetables.
Yes.
Uganda, Africa, Sodome Association. Can
you justify that? Just a second. Can you justify? Let me give you a chance to respond. Pepe.
Just translate what.
Pepe.
Is there only one way to have children? Is there only one way?
Yes, there is.
Really?
Yes, there is.
See, this is old man. She's in here talking about is there only one way to have children. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Now remember, this interview right here is from Uganda. This is from Uganda. This is a Ugandan TV network.
She's a woman, but she's thinking, excuse me, Phil, I've given you a chance. You see, a banana is different from a cucumber. A carrot is different from a banana. I want you to understand. Equate. No, these are not equal. So for you to what tribe are you, by the way?
Uh-oh.
What?
He said, who your people? He said, who your peoples is.
What tribe are you, by the way? What clan are you? Do you have fathers and grandfathers?
Of course it does.
What is your tribal name? In Africa, that is so bad.
Pastor, if he's not.
Let me tell you, Simon, as I am here, my family supports me.
Are they supporting a
I
disorder?
have a name. So I am a human rights defender.
What
I'm
is
not
that?
limited.
Sodom.
You
I
are
am
an
not
activist
limited.
for LGBTI.
I'm an
Lesbians,
activist.
gays,
Bisexual,
transgender, and intersexuals.
Let me tell you something.
Where's the H?
Human rights. I told you earlier. I am for this group.
No. Pastor, hold it. Pastor, hold it, please. Pastor, Pepe.
I cannot believe you put me on a show with a hooligan. Can the pastor shut up?
She said, I can't believe you put me on a show with a hooligan. She called the pastor a hooligan. She called the pastor a hooligan.
While I say
Yes,
this, because he's
yes.
been interrupting and probably you did not
He's
get
quiet.
it.
Pastor is quiet. Pastor, will you be quiet?
I am
So,
afraid.
what will you do? Rather, what do you do in your advocacy work?
I told you.
Don't you think you need to interface so that?
No, I have to pray for this young woman as I read the scripture for her. My daughter, I want to read for you a scripture.
No. I should take charge of this.
No, I want to read for her.
He's not ready. He's not ready. No. I'm afraid. Pastor, no. I'm afraid you're not ready. My guest is we wind up and that ends the show.
Man, that is too funny. So fast forward, right? Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. It's out of it's out of control. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the United States for just causing mass chaos all over the world. Uganda passes a measure to make it a crime to identify as LGBTQ. Now, here's my question. What do you guys think about that? I'm not gonna lie. Here's my thing. Here's my thing, right? Here in the United States, right? Here in the United States. I'm used to the way things are here in the United States. So I know that there's people here in the United States that are LGBTQ. Uganda is a sovereign nation that is not connected to the United States. So if Uganda chooses to make that a crime, Uganda chose to make it a crime, and people living in Uganda should respect the law. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I don't think that the United States or any nation at all has the right to attempt to infringe on Uganda's sovereignty. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this is true or not, but if I'm not mistaken, Uganda could face sanctions as a result of this because the United States backs this and they want things to be like this in all of these other countries. Mike, I'm about to put the video link in the chat right now. We don't have a right to force this onto other people. And my thing is, we don't know how their cultural perspective is of looking at it, right? They could, now let me ask you guys a question. They could be taking the angle of this is identity fraud. If you are physiologically a male and you say that you're a female, you are being fraudulent about your identity. Now, let me ask you a question. Would that be a valid thing to say? If what I just said is valid and true, give me a thumbs up. If what I said is not valid and true, give me a thumbs down. So they may be looking at it as different. What if my channel name on YouTube is Blacklight Revelations? What if I decided to identify as TD Hip Hop Media? Okay, that's fraud. That's fraudulent because my channel is not TD Hip Hop Media. My channel is Blacklight Revelations. I'm doing identity theft because I'm identifying as something that I'm not verifiable, that I am not verifiably am. You know what I'm saying? Telfo says, yes, it happens. In fact, look at jails. Look at what happens in fact, and what are we looking at in jails? You talking about quote unquote men getting locked up with women and then the women getting pregnant? Because that happens. You know what I'm saying? That goes down. You know what I'm saying? Uganda passes a measure to make it a crime to identify as LGBTQ. The measure appears to be the first to outlaw merely identifying as LGBTQ, according to rights group Human Rights Watch. Uganda's parliament passed a measure on Tuesday to make it a crime to identify as LGBTQ, handing authorities broad powers to target Ugandans who already face legal discrimination and mob violence. More than 30 African countries, including Uganda, already ban same-sex relations. What do you guys think about that? So now here's my thing. If 30 nations in Africa, right? How many nations is there in Africa? Was it like 56? Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And my that opens up an even more complicated can of worms, because how do you deal with people that commit sex crimes who don't identify as the sex that they were born as? That opens up a whole different complicated can of worms. You know what I'm saying? The new measure appears to be the first that would outlaw identifying as LGBTQ, according to the rights group Human Rights Watch. In addition to same-sex intercourse, the measure would ban promoting and abetting homosexuality, as well as conspiracy to engage in homosexuality. Violations would draw severe penalties, including death for so-called aggravated homosexuality and life in prison for gay sex. Now, here's my question, right? There's about, what did I say? There's about 56 countries. Carla said 52 to 54. Okay, thank you, Carla. 52 to 54 countries in Africa, right? In this article here, it says that more than 30 African countries, including Uganda, right? So that's more than 50% of the countries disagree with this kind of lifestyle. Yet and still, when it comes to Western media, when it comes to the United States, when it comes to Disney, they always portray Black people as LGBTQ. Now, they like to use statistics so much. 56. Okay, thank you, Don. They like to use statistics so much. Why? Let's look at the statistic of asking the question, if 30% of those, or I'm sorry, 30 of those countries, which is greater than 50%, are against the LGBTQ legislation, why are we sitting here acting like the way that LGBTQ is portrayed by Hollywood in the movies is the way that it should be? Why are we doing that? Does that make any sense? If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make any sense, give me a thumbs down. Doesn't make any sense. Aggravated homosexuality involves gay sex with people under the age of 18 or when the perpetrator is HIV positive, among other categories, according to the measure. The legislation will be sent to President Yoweri Museveni to be signed into law. Frank Mugisha, a prominent Ugandan LGBTQ activist, denounced the legislation as draconian. Now, I'm curious as to where the money comes from that backs the Ugandan LGBTQ organizations. That's my question for you guys. Who do you all think funds the Ugandan LGBTQ activist organizations? See, because one thing that I think that we should start doing is we got to follow the money worldwide. Because if we follow the money worldwide, not only will we know what's going on in the rest of the world, but we'll also know about what's going on in America and who's paying for it. Now, we know who pays for a lot of this stuff in the United States. We know that J.B. Pritzker and J.B. Pritzker's family, they put a lot of money into this kind of stuff. Deneen says Democrats. If you guys agree with Deneen, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I agree. If not Democrats, Democrat or liberal adjacent organizations are probably funneling lots of money to those activist organizations. It could be. Definitely could be. This law is very extreme and draconian. It criminalizes being an LGBTQ person, but they are also trying to erase the entire existence of any LGBTQ Ugandan, he said. So now let me ask you guys a question. What's being done to preserve the existence of biological women? Is there anything that's being done? What's being done to preserve the lives, the image, the idea of a biological woman? Is there anything that's being done to maintain that, to preserve that? What's being done to keep that alive? Because if you ask me, that's something that's being replaced as well. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 74 people watching. Shout out to all 74 people that are watching, and we got 93 likes. We only 7 away from 100, so if everybody can take a moment, bang on that like button, share the video out, that would definitely be awesome. Moose Vinny, who has not commented on the proposal, has long opposed LGBTQ rights, and he signed an anti-LGBTQ law in 2013 that Western countries condemned before a domestic court struck it down on procedural grounds. Let me ask you, now remember, we talked about this yesterday when we did the stream about China and Russia. Yeah, I agree, Robin. I agree. Now, why are Western countries condemning this? What let me ask you guys a question. Shout out to MC Fact. What's good with it? What's in it for Western countries, for Uganda or any African nation to accept this? And shout out to my man Kid Gravity. What's up with it, kid? Supporters of the new measure say it is needed to punish a broader array of LGBTQ activities, which they say threaten traditional values in the conservative and religious East African country. Our Creator God is happy about what is happening. I support the bill to protect the future of our children, lawmaker David Bahidi said during debate on the bill. This is about the sovereignty of our nation. Nobody should blackmail us. Nobody should intimidate us. That right there, that particular thing right there, I agree with. See, they play games with selective sovereignty. They play games with selective sovereignty. They promote that all these nations should be sovereign, right? When we were talking about China and Russia and we were talking about Ukraine, that's all they kept saying is respect the sovereignty of Ukraine, respect the sovereignty of Ukraine. How many times did we hear that yesterday in the stream that we did where we were talking about Ukraine? How many times did we hear Russia needs to respect Ukraine's sovereignty? Now, this is the United States telling Russia that Russia needs to respect Ukraine's sovereignty. But what about the United States respecting everybody else's sovereignty? Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Kid Gravity. Kid Gravity said it was the same deal when Russia condemned LGBTQ before Sochi Winter Olympics in 2018. Yeah, big facts. In recent weeks, Ugandan authorities have cracked down on LGBTQ people after religious leaders and politicians alleged students were being recruited into homosexuality in schools. Now, that's interesting that they were saying that was going down in schools. Let me ask you a question. What do you all think is going down in the schools that would make these politicians say that? Because there's been allegations of that exact same kind of tactic going on here in the United States. The United States has been alleged of that exact same kind of tactic. This month, authorities arrested a secondary school teacher in the Eastern District of Jinja over accusations of grooming of young girls into unnatural sex practices. She was charged with gross indecency and is in prison awaiting trial. Police said Monday they had arrested 6 people accused of running a network that was, quote unquote, actively involved in the grooming of young boys into acts of sodomy. All right. So now here's my question, right? If this is happening internationally, right? Like if this is going on, why isn't there an international coalition, some type of watchdog organization or some type of watchdog effort to try to make sure that this kind of thing is supervised or removed from any school that it's identified in? Shout out to my man Sean Williams. What's good with it, bro? You would think that there'd be some kind of international effort, right, to deal with this kind of stuff. But for whatever reason, there's not. You know what I'm saying? Now, that is, it's funny that we ended up down this rabbit hole. It's funny that we ended up down this rabbit hole. Because I have a I have a academic journal that I want to read to you guys, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. Not gonna have enough time to read it today, you know what I'm saying? But we will definitely get to it. And we talked about this on Blacklight Revelations News Reviews and Reactions. But do you guys see this? Pediatricians say state bill would harm trans youth. Okay. State bill would harm trans youth. Pediatric advocates across the U.S. are battling state legislation that discriminates against gender diverse and transgender youth, including in several states where AAP chapters worked to defeat similar bills last year. The bills intend, now listen to this. You know what? We may as well go ahead and do this. If you guys want me to go ahead and we'll get this out the way, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't want me to, give me a thumbs down. If you guys want to bust this out, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. We'll do it some other time. But I think this is important because people should really see what actually is going into all of this. Because believe it or not, there's a lot going into it. MC Fact says that America will end up like Greece. And Don P says this nation is desperately sick. I agree with both of them. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Gullah Jack Tracks. What's good with it, bro? So now here it says pediatric advocates across the United States are battling state legislation that discriminates against gender diverse and transgender youth, including in several states where AAP chapters worked to defeat several similar bills last year. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What does this kind of discrimination look like? What are they talking about? What is this discrimination they are talking about? What is this? According to them, male and female bathrooms is segregation. Seriously, I'm dead serious. They look at that as segregation. You know what I'm saying? The bills intend to prevent, now pay attention, the bills intend to prevent transgender youth from participating on athletic teams or in sports according to their gender identity or prohibit gender affirming medical care. What do you all think about that? Here's the question. Don't you guys feel that this stuff kind of just snuck up to the point where it didn't seem like, there was anything going on, and then like all of a sudden, like boom, this stuff is now it's just here. It's just boom, it's just right in your face. And people don't know what to do with it. But what it seems like is if people have issues with it or if people aren't comfortable with it, then you get shouted down. Not only do you get shouted down, you get called names, you get canceled. You know what I'm saying? People ain't really on it. Probably in most cases because they're afraid of losing their voice on their own. But the problem is that shuts down opportunities for discourse. People can't have discourse about this kind of stuff, and they need to. You know what I'm saying? Bills in several states would penalize pediatricians and other physicians for providing gender-affirming care. Hold on real quick. All of a sudden, this other article that I had up decided to just start playing. You know, we're just going to start playing. Bills in several states would penalize pediatricians and other physicians for providing gender-affirming medical care. The care model recommended in the AAP policy, ensuring comprehensive care and support for transgender and gender-diverse children and adolescents. So now, I don't think that it would be a bad idea to check this out. This right here is very long. This would be like a huge live stream talking about this issue right here. Ensuring comprehensive care and support for transgender and gender diverse children and adolescents. What do you guys think about that? You know what I think about it? What I feel is that I feel that a lot of people that have kids in the world today love their kids dearly, but because the way that the world is just being manipulated and corrupted, really feel sad and disappointed and kind of wish that they hadn't have had kids, because if you had known that the world was going to be like this, you probably wouldn't have brought kids into this world. Because it's almost like now it's at the point where you can be as involved or as good of a parent as you want to be, and it's not certain how your child is going to turn out. And your child could turn out just completely different than the idea that you had when you set out raising or starting your family. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says bills in several states would penalize pediatricians and other physicians for providing gender-affirming and medical care. The care model recommended in the AAP policy, ensuring comprehensive care and support for transgender and gender-diverse children and adolescents. AAP chapters have argued that the bills discriminate against transgender youth. Pediatricians testifying against the legislation said that it is based on myths and misinformation about transgender children and adolescents, and misunderstanding about medical and surgical aspects of gender-affirming care. They are presenting science explaining policies of national and international medical and athletic organizations and describing harms the bill would cause. Okay. As experts, hold on real quick. As experts, pediatricians are uniquely positioned to advocate for and support these young people. Politics has no place here. These are individual conversations between clinicians, patients, and families about what's best. The AAP applauds the hard work of our chapters focused on protecting transgender youth at the state level, said AAP CEO Executive Vice President Mark Del Monte. All right. So now let me ask you guys a question. How do you all feel? And I think I know how people feel, but I'm just curious. I just want to get a little consensus in the chat. Do you all feel that transgender males should be allowed to play sports against transgender females? If you all feel that they should be, give me a thumbs up. If you guys feel that they shouldn't be, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says, as experts, pediatricians are uniquely positioned to advocate for and support these young people. Politics has no place here. These are individual conversations between clinicians, patients, and families about what's best. The AAP applauds the hard work of our chapters focused on protecting transgender youth at the state level, said AAP CEO Executive Mark Del Monte Jr. Ala Al Nofal, MD, FAAP, a pediatric endocrinologist and South Dakota chapter vice president, said there are many misunderstandings about transgender individuals. Last year, Dr. Al Nofal accompanied a group of pediatricians and pediatric residents from the South Dakota chapter to advocate against and help defeat a bill that would have criminalized care for transgender and gender diverse patients. All right. So now here's my thing, right? I think that the biggest issue that a lot of people have about this is the fact that they're allowing children to get these kind of surgeries, and there's issues with communication with the parents. I think that most parents, not all parents, but most parents want to be fully aware of what's going on with their child. And I think one of the biggest issues that a lot of the parents have is the perceived loss of control that they have over the child's life and over the destiny of their child's life when it comes to the child's ability to be able to make decisions about this. In a lot of different places, they're doing a lot of this kind of stuff, and they're doing it without proper communication to the parents. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says this year, a new bill was introduced that focuses on transgender youth athletes. In a letter to the state Senate committee, a chapter wrote that the bill is discriminatory and will make a situation worse. Studies indicate that transgender youth are at increased risk of mental health problems and suicidal ideation. Now, let me ask you guys that. Why is that? First of all, how do you feel about that statistic? How do you guys feel about that statistic? And that's true, Deneen. The adults have the insurance policy, not the kids. That's facts. Studies indicate that transgender youth are at increased risk of mental health problems and suicidal ideation. Now, here's my question. Is it because they're transgender, or is it because they had issues to begin with that led them to see some kind of medical professional that cleared them to be able to transition, which means that they had a pre-existing mental issue to begin with? The mental issue is not inherently because they're trans. I agree, Johnny. If you guys agree with Johnny, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. And Telfo says it doesn't tell you how this increase happens. And I agree, it doesn't. It doesn't tell you how this increase happens. It just says that it's there, which is kind of something that people should pay attention to when they just throw statistics out there. It's like, well, wait a minute. Well, how did that increase happen? And is there anything that is correlated with? So now here it says, according to a survey from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 1.8% of high school students identify as transgender. 35% reported they had attempted suicide. That's a high amount. A pediatric study found that when individuals who receive medication align their body with their gender identity, the risk of suicide decreases by about 70%. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What do you all think about that? What do you think about that study? What do you think that study would show? They say that the risk of suicide decreases 70%. That's a bold claim. A pediatric study found that when individuals who receive medication to align their body with their gender identity, the risk of suicide decreases by about 70%. we're gonna check that out eventually at some point. We're gonna check this study out. These are some interesting studies. People are worried about males participating in female sports, which is not fair for girls. Dr. Al Nofel said, this is not the case here. Now, here's my question. How is it not the case? What do they mean it's not the case? So if it's not the case, then what is it? What are we talking about? Goat says, do you think they should ban transgenders playing in sports? I think that transgender should be like every other gender. Every other gender has to play sports against that particular gender. Men and women aren't part of LGBTQ, right? LGBTQ are each individual gender identities. So why they get to choose a gender to play sports against, and men have to play against men and women have to play against men, it doesn't seem fair to me. Men, a straight male cannot choose to either play against LGBTQ or women. A straight woman cannot choose to play against LGBTQ or men, but a trans can play against all of the above. I want to know how that's fair. That to me, that doesn't make sense. That's not fair. Why do some people get a choice and other people don't? Like, does that make sense? Like, a trans person could, if they wanted to, use a bathroom, a male bathroom, a men's bathroom. They also have the option to use a woman's bathroom. I don't have the option to use a woman's bathroom. If I went in the woman's bathroom and whipped out my meat, I'd get arrested. If a woman went to the male's bathroom and squatted on a urinal, she'd get arrested. Who's the ones that don't have the rights here? You know what I'm saying? In all these situations, the person who's part of the academy is the one that has the most autonomy. Everybody else has to follow the sign. The person that's part of the academy is the only person in the equation when it comes to using a bathroom. The person that's that's part of the academy can use any bathroom. The person that's straight has to use their bathroom that matches their gender and sex, which means that where some people have a choice, other people have an assignment. But it's the people that have a choice that are saying that they don't have rights. So how does that work? Does that logic make sense? Does my logic make sense? If the questions that I'm asking make sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make any sense, give me a thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, according to the letter from South Dakota chapter, many experts would argue that early blocking of puberty and transitioning hormonal treatment minimize the biological effect of genetic sex. I mean, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're everybody, Deneen, everyone else has to do it. Like, they keep talking about gender assigned at birth, but we're the ones that have to do what's assigned, and they actually have a choice. They could put on a pair of jeans and walk into a men's bathroom, or they could put on a dress and some high heels and walk into a woman's bathroom. At all times, I have to go in the men's bathroom. At all times, you have to go in the women's bathroom. At all times, I have to play men's basketball. I have to play men's football. I have to fight in a male fighting league. I don't get to choose. You don't get to choose. You know what I'm saying? So what? This is why I always ask when they talk about rights and all these like rights, what rights are they talking about? So now here says some states with pending legislation have had no cases involving transgender athletes wanting to compete or being perceived as having a competitive advantage, according to Rebecca L. Carl, MD, MS, FAAP, a member of the AAP Council on Sports Medicine and Fitness, COSMF, Executive Committee. It is very political and it's almost more theatrical, she said, adding that the legislation exacerbates social and psychological barriers to physical activity for transgender youth and does not promote a quote-unquote inclusive approach for all children. I mean, how does it not? How does it not? You know what I'm saying? How does it not promote inclusivity for all children? How does it not do that? Does that make any sense? Dr. Al Nofal agreed, saying, I'm not saying the stories don't exist. I'm not aware of any in the state of South Dakota. In 2020, Idaho became the first state to enact legislation prohibiting transgender females from participating on athletic teams according to their gender identity. Idaho's Fairness in Women's Sports Act would ban transgender girls from playing on girls and women's sports teams. Like they're girls and women's sports teams. You know what I'm saying? Like LGBTQ are all gender identities, right? And according to these people, men and women are a gender identity also. So why you get to choose to play in competition against a gender identity that is not your gender identity is beyond me. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. What is the AAP? Let me see. Hold on real quick. I think it's the American Association. Yeah. Oh, no, it's the American Academy of Pediatrics. The American Academy of Pediatrics. Look at this. Look at this. However, a U.S. district judge issued an injunction to block the Idaho law after the state was sued by the ACLU and a transgender female athlete. So the same group of people that sued and messed up all Kanye West business deals sued these people here and got this blocked. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys show some love to New York State of Mind for joining the membership. You know what I'm saying? Throw some radiation emojis in the chat. Appreciate you joining the membership, New York State of Mind. Anybody that is interested in joining the membership is only 99 cents. Definitely helps the channel. You know what I'm saying? I think we got 39 members now. If we get one more member, we'll have 40. You know what I'm saying? We have a nice even 40. The U.S. district judge said the law stands in contrast to policies of national and global athletic regulatory organizations. Idaho has appealed the case to the 9th U.S. Court of Appeals, and the AAP filed an amicus brief with 12 other medical organizations in support of the ACLU and the plaintiff. The AAP also has signed onto a letter with the Human Rights Campaign expressing opposition to the bills across the United States. All right. So we might have to look at this. We're going to pull all this to the side here. Yeah, we're going to look at this. Major health, education, and child welfare organizations oppose anti-LGBTQ state-based legislation. That's interesting. I never thought that I would like live in a time where those issues were the priority of quote unquote human rights. You know what I'm saying? What I know about transgender children is they're just like any other kids. They want to fit in. Proposing not letting them fit in sports will greatly impact their physical and emotional well-being, not just as athletes, but as regular children. Now, I thought that they would transition in order to deal with their physical and emotional well-being. Most individuals identify as their desired sex very early in childhood. See, like this is where a lot of this stuff loses me at. Most individuals identify as their desired sex in early childhood. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you have a choice? Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like, are y'all hearing this? Yeah, I gotta agree. Everything that everybody's typing in the chat right now, like I agree with you guys. Dr. Al Nofow said first they go through counseling and psychological assessments. Hormonal intervention is not recommended until the child starts to enter puberty. I mean, and now mind you, they're talking about giving hormones and all of this. They're talking about doing this at ages younger than 18. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about doing this at ages younger than 18. Probably most parents are not on board with this. There probably are some parents that are on board with it, but most parents probably are not on board with it. And if the parents aren't on board with it, shout out to my man, Bitch We Lit. What's good with it, bro? If the parents ain't on board with it, then they're making it so that they can move around the kids or move around the parents and do it behind the parents' backs, which ultimately takes away the parents' autonomy in being able to have influence over their kids' lives. It's crazy. So now here it says the next step is to block hormone secretion. This allows time for the child. Look at this. This allows time for the child to learn more about themselves, receive counseling, and gain understanding of the concept of their feelings and how they identify, he said. The individual starts gender affirming hormone treatment at around 16 years of age. Most parents are not going to be okay with that. Most parents are not going to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Catherine Lowe, MD, FAAP, a member of the AAP section on lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender health and wellness executive committee, became an advocate for transgender children in Montana after witnessing a youth who transitioned about 6 years ago. It was an incredible experience. Look at this. Look at this. It was an incredible experience to watch her truly blossom and come to life once her parents understood that she was transgender and allowed her to transition and live as her authentic self. How do you artificially manipulate yourself, and then that's called your authentic health? How does that work? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate myself, and the manipulation of myself is my authentic self. How does that work? Does that make any sense? If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make any sense, give me a thumbs down. Iron Will said, who made that D Wade? I don't know. Gabriel Union, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? She said that seeing this individual go from struggling with depression and anxiety to being a happy, thriving child is what inspired me to do all that I can do to support gender diverse kids, as well as work to help build a society that also supports and affirms gender diverse kids. Now, here's my so here's my question. Why does this have to be kids? Do you think that kids are qualified to make these kind of judgments about themselves? let's get that let's get that question on the table. If you guys feel that kids are qualified to make those kind of judgments about themselves at that young of an age, life-changing things like that, if you feel that kids are okay to do that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys feel that they're not okay to do that, give me a thumbs down. I gotta agree with what everybody's saying. No, I don't agree that a child is qualified at that age to, on their own, make a life-altering decision like a decision for a surgery. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Lowe and 3 other pediatricians have been testifying, emailing, writing letters and op-eds, and reaching out to organizations and businesses to express their concerns about bills in Montana for over a year. In January, pediatricians there made phone calls to ask House members to reject legislation to ban gender-affirming medical and surgical care. One representative spoke with her child's pediatrician and voted against it. Another answered Dr. Lowe's call right before the vote and voted against it. The legislation was defeated. New bills have been introduced, but Dr. Lowe says that she has learned that she can make a difference. Many of us pediatricians are often nervous to speak up or pick up the phone, she said. I really think the voice of pediatricians can be so powerful that many people really respect our voices. We are in a place to use our platform and our position to really make a difference in the lives of these vulnerable kids. Well, to me, if you're going to be dealing with vulnerable kids, actually make a difference, and make that difference by protecting the kids, not exploiting their vulnerabilities. And if you ask me, when it comes to a lot of this right here is an exploitation of vulnerability. This is an exploitation of vulnerability, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I feel about it. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section, because that's all, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to try to bust out some videos today. I might not get anything done. I will probably be back with another live stream tomorrow. You guys already know tomorrow is the Friday show, so it's going to be on Blacklight Revelations, news, reviews, and reactions. And then immediately after that, we got Reacts podcast with me and Grind and Motivate. So that's going to be fun. We're going to be talking about some interesting topics. And I will catch you all on the next video. All right. Peace.